What's up guys, Jake here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking nukes. We're making up some one frame, basically little late season mating nukes, and we're splitting some of our nukes that we made a month ago. I'm gonna kind of walk you through our strategy behind doing this. Now it is pretty late in the season to be doing this. However, we still have really good weather, we still have good drones, and this is kind of a good way for us to maintain our numbers, to be able to have queens to fill holes as we have dead outs. If you haven't seen already, the way we did our splits this year was we kept parents and we pulled splits above excluders. Now what that does is it means these doubles, we're gonna have more dead outs. Now these doubles, because of these older queens, they're going to decrease in fertility over time, they're gonna fail, and we're gonna have more dead outs. Now all these doubles will get split in half post honey flow, so we will, in theory, say just to throw out an arbitrary number, if we started with 1,000 doubles, we made 1,000 splits, these 1,000 doubles will be turned into 1,000 more splits, and we'll only have 1,000 or 1/3 of the original queens. So now that's not the numbers we're working with, but just an arbitrary example of what's going on here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna split the nukes that I pulled queens out of yesterday, and then we're gonna put in cells. I actually won't be here when we're putting in cells. I'll be out of town, but my guys are gonna come back a couple days and put cells in all of these nukes that we've made up. We're just making them up with one solid frame of brood out of these parents. We had a 90% take on these nukes here, which is excellent, and we're just gonna split them in half and turn around and put another cell in them on Saturday. So I have a love-hate relationship with pro nukes because they're just a pain, but the mating has been really good this year with them. So let me show you how we have these set up. So this is how we have our nuke yard set up back here. We actually, and the feeders are out because I picked queens and I left the feeders out to mark that I picked queens out. But we just set them up in groups of four, groups of three, and we actually cover them with these pieces of wood because these things get hot. That's my complaint with them, is they're plastic and they get hot. We put 4 frames in a feeder in these, and they have over 2 frames of brood, so we're gonna split them in half so that they don't get too crazy, since we're gonna put another cell in them.
Oh, sí, aquí. Abajo de puerta amarilla. Afuera. No, en la puerta, Está afuera ahorita. Está abajo.
Oh, sí.
Está mirando por
No hubo entrada.
Agarra.
No, ahí está.
Hey. This is broken, but it should work. All right, we caged the one that we couldn't find. It makes me feel better. I couldn't find her yesterday. And don't mind the band-aid on here. This broke yesterday. That's what I had to seal it off. But it took 3 guys to find the queen, so she was hiding out. But we're gonna get all these split. And we're gonna take them to another yard to confuse the bees. And we've got some more nukes on the truck. We're gonna put back in this yard. We're just kind of shuffling them. We'll be back to this yard in a couple days to check back these splits and put some supers on these doubles. I wish I had done this earlier, but you win some, you lose some. If I did everything perfectly on time, then it'd just be too perfect, right? Got to make some mistakes. But basically what we're doing now is the nukes that we already made, we're picking queens out of them instead of, we used to just plug in the nuke to whatever holes we had. So whatever singles that we made, whatever splits didn't take, we would plug the nuke in to whatever didn't take. And so it's just another way to mate a queen and have another viable queen. But what we found is we've been checking everything back at day 19 because I wanted to get a treatment on. Day 19 is the brood break using a cell where all the brood is uncapped. So your new eggs and larvae from your new queen are uncapped. if she made it, if she took. And then all of your old brood, if it was an egg when you split it, that's the day that all of the old brood has emerged. So you get a really good mite kill at day 19 with oxalic. So that's why we're checking them back at day 19, is because I wanted to put on oxalic. I wanted to check them, put on oxalic, and then get supers on everything because it's April 15th, it's mid-April. And the tallow here has about a 3/4 to 1 inch tag going up. So I know, our time is limited on what we can do. So basically what we're doing is, because we're checking back so early, the ones that didn't take still have really good bees in them, a good bee population. So we're taking advantage of that by picking the queens out of the nucs and caging those queens and introducing those into the queenless splits, the singles, and then we're going to turn around and put another cell in the nuc. Yeah, well, now, yes, those cells will be, it's going to be pretty late by the time they're mated and ready to go, but that's okay. We're going to need mated queens, one, to fill holes, and also we're going to need mated queens for when we split these doubles. I'm still going to have to buy some mated queens because I really didn't plan to do this, to be honest. It was just kind of like, hey, this is actually a great idea, and it's not too late to do it. It's not ideal. We're not, it could have been earlier. I could have decided to do this a month earlier, but that's part of beekeeping, is you win some, you lose some. And we're not even losing in this scenario. It's just, could have decided to do it earlier, but that's okay. I am likely going to do a lot more of this next year. I might even invest in some mini mating nucs just to make it easier. The good thing about the Pro Nuc is, when we're done with this cycle of, I think next year I can probably get 3 or 4 cycles out of these, depending on how quick I make them, as far as how many times I can pull a queen and put a cell in. So the good part about the Pro Nuc is, the last cycle, once you have a mated queen, you just take the whole nuc and put it in a queenless hive, and it's already got brood, it's already got honey, they're already established in that nuc. So the downside to the mini mating nucs that I can see, again, I haven't used them, I'm learning in this area. The downside to the mini mating nucs is those frames can't go in a full size colony because they're a mini frame. So whatever brood and resources you have in there, I guess you just leave it to get robbed out. I don't know. If you've done this before, let me know in the comments. But that's my thought process. It is a little difficult to find. Well, not difficult, I would say. It just takes a little bit more time to find queens in the Pro Nucs, because as you saw, this one that I have right here was hiding in the Pro Nuc box. I checked through that exact Pro Nuc yesterday 4 times and eventually just lost my patience and moved on. And then it just took 3 of my guys looking through it to find where she was, and she was running away. So sometimes you just have the running queens that really want to not be found. And the Pro Nucs are so big, even though we're only putting 4 frames in them, they're still so big, it takes a minute to find them. But I think that might be the best option for us long term. I might get a few of the mini mating nucs and try them next year. But we already have a bunch of Pro Nucs, and my only complaint, again, is they just, 1, they're hard to move, and 2, they get hot. So, but yeah, I'm learning. I have this, with these queen cages, we've had these queen cages for sitting in a storage container for over a decade, it's gotta be. And some of them are brittle, and I'd never made queen candy before, so I basically just we have sugar for the bees, and I put it in a blender and made my own powdered sugar basically and mixed it with honey. So that was just a random online recipe I found. So I'm learning. This is all new to me. That's the cool part about commercial beekeeping, is even though I've grown up around it and done it for a long time, there's still a whole lot I don't know and a whole lot I want to know. But the crazy part is I didn't even pick that many queens yesterday, and retail is around $1,000 worth of queens that I picked in less than half a day. So I think it's going to be really good as far as saving money for us in the long run, and just the availability, because mated queens are hard to come by this time of year. I think this is going to be a good solution for us doing this. So if you've done this before, let me know in the comments. I'm always open to learn. As you can see, it goes by pretty quick. This one here, I obviously it's got brood and it's got larvae, but it's missing eggs and could not find the queen yesterday. So I don't know if it went queenless. It obviously didn't swarm because it's busting at the seams. Well, that's what we got going today. Hope you enjoyed seeing us make some nucs. Again, late season nucs, but hey, it might be a little bit late, but it's not too late. And we got time to get it done and get some queens mated. So hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.